All right, back here on Inside Wrestling Radio, second part of the interview here with my friend Deon Johnson, who's in the house. And before the break, we were talking about his early part of his career, how he got started, and he's going to Memphis and working out there. And Deon, you were saying during the break, actually before you went to Memphis, you were working for Charlie Babbitt up in Union.
Right.
Yeah, and so he brought in JYD, and you worked with him some. Tell us about what that was. And like you said, he was one of your childhood heroes. How was it meeting him for the first time?
Meeting him for the first time was like a dream come true. He was always, one of my top favorite guys. And when Charlie says, well, Derek, we're going to put you in the ring with the JYD, and I want you to do good and don't mess it up. This is your one and only chance.
Yeah.
I said, well, Charlie, I'll do my best.
Yeah.
And when I got in the ring with him and just seeing the people gravitate to him,
sure,
it just opened up a whole new era, aura in my eyes. And I was like, this is how it's done.
Right.
And I kind of patterned, the way I came to the ring and where I interacted with the people by watching what he did,
sure,
back in the day.
Sure, absolutely. And some of the stuff, and you were one of the guys sort of like Cruiser Lewis and a couple of other my friends from back in the day, what I call true natural. You pick wrestling up, you don't really have to be technically trained. You pick it up really just by watching. It's like a musician who can play by ear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I kind of equate some of the guys from that era, from that time to it. And so you do have the ability to kind of pick it up from other guys, especially guys like that, if you really just watch and listen,
right,
which is what these young guys today don't want to do.
They don't have a clue.
They want to go out there and just do.
Right.
Learn how to take a bump, and then they want to go do everything.
Exactly.
So you got to kind of listen to those older guys, man, and watch what they were doing. And I'm sure it had to be a true schooling experience just working with him.
Right. I mean, even before I even got trained, I used to come watch you and Mickey Free come,
Yeah, I remember
on those shows. I used to watch y'all guys and,
Yep,
and just watch the little things that y'all did.
Yeah, and that's a lot of and a lot of that's not being taught, in some of these so-called training schools. Guys aren't teaching, guys any psychology. And we were talking about that with Manny the other week when he was down for his interview. They're just not teaching some of the very basics of the business.
Right.
They teach them how to take a bump, take their money, and say, all right, go work and find yourself a job.
Psychology in this business is lost art.
Sure, it absolutely is. After you teamed up with JYD, what happened after that point in your career? After that you went to Memphis?
Yeah,
right?
after that, I came, did a few more outlaw shows, and that's when I hooked up with Mo, and we went to Memphis, and we had a good 2-year run there. Actually, we won the tag team titles up there from Moondog Spot.
Sure.
Larry Latham, legend in this business.
Sure.
He's no longer with us.
Right.
And a young kid by the name of Derek King, who's still wrestling in Memphis. He's done a few WWE shows and fantastic worker.
Very cool. So now you were telling me during the break that you and Mo actually were being looked at to come back up to the WWE, and we're going to be doing the 3-count gimmick.
Right.
Tell us what happened with that.
Well, we were beating, like I said earlier, we were beating Memphis Championship Wrestling in the ratings, and we had a manager with us, Perry James, which is phenomenal on the microphone.
Sure.
And we were sitting there on a 10-hour ride. We talked about a lot of things.
Right.
Actually, me and Perry James were wanting to jump from Power Pro Wrestling to Memphis Championship in order to get that contract.
Right. Sure.
But Mo, on the other hand, was kind of hesitant because his former partner, which was Viscera, Big Daddy V, he was already over there.
Sure.
Eventually,
did they have heat?
In the beginning, they had a little heat. I think they kind of smoothed things over now.
Okay.
So we got over there, and we got to Memphis Power Pro Wrestling, and we got contacted by Kevin Kelly, which was, he was with Talent Relations with the WWE back then, and
sure,
he told us, we looked good, and what he saw of us was fine, but we needed to lose weight and tone up.
Right, sure, which is what they tell everybody.
Once I got, and I didn't believe him at first, and then all of a sudden, when he called back, I got to talk to him, so I'm on cloud 9 thinking I'm going to get this big contract.
Sure, about to go to the show.
So, we leave the TV station that morning, and the first thing we do is stop by Crystal Burgers and get a handful of Crystal Burgers. And I'm thinking,
what diet is this?
Exactly. We trying to, I'm trying to tone up and work out and whatever so I can get this contract.
Sure.
And my partner's kind of working against me.
Yeah.
Things went array, started going crazy from there. So, and he calls back up to WWE and, and says, what about Rikishi? You don't tell him to tone up or lose weight, but, that's Rikishi and that's his gimmick.
Wow.
So, after that, they pretty much stopped talking to us. And I got discouraged about the business, wanted to quit, never wanted to do it again. But the love I have for this wrestling business, keeps me doing it,
Sure.
every weekend.
So listen, with him kind of screwing you out of that deal, did you not want to take it upon yourself maybe to get a singles gig up there? Because, you were actually doing the right thing. You were getting in shape, because I remember you dropped a bunch of weight back at that time.
I was kind of discouraged and kind of scared, to tell you the truth, to go and make it on my own. Mm-hmm. And that was probably one of the biggest mistakes I ever did, just not pursue it the way I wanted to.
Sure.
So I kind of dropped off and screwed and went back home with the wife and had a couple kids and never thought about it no more.
Really? Just kind of let it go?
Yep.
Yeah, I understand. I went through the same thing some years back myself when I had the opportunity to go up to the power plant when Jim Mitchell called us to come up there, and I just kind of didn't take the opportunity, and I've kind of looked at that ever since as like a what-if kind of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But things come and things happen for a reason, so whatever. What's coming up with you now? What you got going on?
Right now I'm working with the new SCW with Charlie Lane and all, and we're having some, pretty good shows now. We just did a couple shows here in Newberry, South Carolina, and a couple in Lawrence, and turned out to be some jam shows. And we want the people that, the listeners out there, to come and, check us out. And just, I guarantee you'll enjoy yourself. Good family fun. Yeah,
Charlie struggled a little bit in the beginning, and he'll admit that with some of the things that was going on there with the company. But with any new opportunity, any new business, you're going to have a few stumbles and a few stammers. But I think he's picked up the ball. He's using guys like you and the Black Angel, who you're teaming up with now, and bringing in Fernandez and some of those old school guys, and kind of paying, like we were talking about earlier, a little homage to the past, as well as bringing it up to date into the future. So it's a good thing to have you back around and doing the thing. Now we got a big show coming up on the 27th. You're going to be a part of that, right?
Yes, it's going to be a big super show, with a NCW / dash SCW show.
Right.
And we're going to try to, tear the house down.
I think it's going to be a big show. We drew over 600 last year at the big SCW Christmas event.
Right.
And we want this to be a big show, too, so anybody listening, be sure to come on out. And we got tickets here at the radio station, WLBG, to give away for that show, actually. And we're going to be giving Derek some. I'm sorry. We're going to be giving Deon some. Let's breaking a little kayfabe there. We're going to give Deon some. He's going to be giving them away up down there in Clinton as well. So we're really going to push that show hard. Deon, you got a website presence out there at all? Anything going on the internet?
No, the only thing I've got is the Deon Johnson fan page. I'm going to get you sucker to it. And,
there you go. Very cool.
Just hit me up, and if I know you, I'll add you to my friends list.
What's that, on Facebook?
On Facebook,
Very
yes.
cool. All right, man, anything else you want to talk about? We got a couple more minutes here. I think we've got 2 minutes left. Anything we didn't cover you want to get into?
The only thing I want to talk about is, the young guys now, Charlie's bringing in some of the legends, and they need to sit back and talk to these guys, ask these guys questions,
sure.
and,
Absolutely.
to see how it used to be, and how wrestling goes in a cycle. And it's going to always go back to the old school.
Sure.
That's the foundation of our business.
Absolutely.
Just, the guys out there, go out and ask these guys, and you're not getting on their nerves because they want to tell you.
Yeah.
Just have respect for the guys that came before us, because without those guys, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing now.
Absolutely right. You got to pay that respect, and even if you don't necessarily like somebody, that doesn't mean you can't learn something from them, And we were taught, Deon, I know you remember back in the day, we were taught you go in the dressing room, you shake everybody's hand, you sit down and shut your mouth until somebody spoke to you.
Right.
You got your gear on, and you just don't have a whole lot of that anymore. You got guys just want to roll in and be the superstar, and everybody can't be a star.
No, somebody's got to get beat.
Somebody got to get beat. And listen, I've carried my share of looking at the lights. I never had a problem with it.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? It's part of the business, and if it helps somebody get over, that helps me get over. And that's just like, it goes back to training, and people just aren't doing a lot of that nowadays. Anyway, Deon, it's great to have you in the house, man. We really appreciate you coming. Look forward to working with you on the 27th, and continue success, and best of luck to you, brother. And I really, again, appreciate you coming down.
All right, I appreciate y'all having me, man.
All right, cool deal. All right, we're going to go back to break here. We'll be back. Charlie and I will close out the show here on Inside Wrestling Radio.